Continuing our conversation now with Congressman Bennie Thompson, and let's talk about that. Is it that we were talking about President Trump and the fact that people seem to be making excuses for him? Can you explain to people watching why, even in the New South, where the Mississippi state flag has been changed, the monuments are coming down in places like Jackson and other places across the state, why is there still this mentality that makes excuses for President Trump? And I'll phrase it this way. If President Obama had done anything that President Trump had done, what would the reaction in Mississippi be?
Oh, it would break the Richter scale in terms of volume. You know, President Obama couldn't wear a tan suit.
I remember.
And
but honestly, I didn't like the tan suit either. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah, but you know, they said, well, can you believe he did that?
I know.
So this notion that this state, my state, and let me tell you, I'm clear. I would not be elected to Congress if it were not for Black folk.
Right.
I mean, I understand that, and my white friends who say they vote for me, I can't prove it, because I've never, in 27 years of being elected to office, I've never had a white friend do a commercial endorsing Bennie Thompson. You know, they'd always say, well, look, Bennie, man, you're a good man. You know, I know your wife, I know your daughter, and you're doing a good job, but don't tell nobody I told you.
But you keep telling us, damn Yankees, that this is the New South. You say this is not your father's Mississippi. This is new. This is more. This is true.
Well, you know, I'm glad you mentioned that. Joe Biden wouldn't be the Democratic nominee if it were not for the New South, because he lost Iowa, he lost New Hampshire. They spent a ton of money in both states. He did reasonably well in Nevada, not the best. But it was only when he came south did the good fortunes turn. And that's because there is a discernible block of voters in the South who get it, and the majority of whom are African American. So I'm excited about the South. We on our way. The trajectory is not as high as we want it to be, but I know no other place that Bennie Thompson and a lot of other folk like me would want to be at this day and time other than in the state of Mississippi.
Before I let you go, if Mike Espy can raise, right now, 85% approval rating among Blacks, if he can get up to 90, 95%, is there any way that he will lose that Senate race in Mississippi?
He'll have to do a couple of other things. Now, we have some colleges and universities, and we tend to think the younger crop of folk don't think like their parents and grandparents. To some degree, that is correct, but you got to figure out a way to get to them. So Mike has to figure out that 8 to 10% of that white vote that he can get, and you can't scattergun it. You got to be very targeted to how you go from a messaging standpoint to get that voter. And that's what you have to do. So I'm excited about Mike's chances. We kind of coordinating in my district his campaign activities and basically saying, look, you need to go work those other 3 districts. We got this. Because, you know, I have the mayor of Jackson, the mayor of Greenville, the mayor of Vicksburg, the mayor of Canton, the mayor of Yazoo City, the mayor of Sunflower, the mayor of Mount Bayou, Mississippi, the mayor of Clarksdale. All of them look like me. And that has serious advantages for Mike. And we plan to give him a running start in my district so that if he can just not get skunked in those other districts, we'll have a new senator.
I will leave it at that, seeing as how you brought up Yazoo City. I haven't heard Yazoo City in quite some time. But Congressman, thanks for being with us. And before you go, there is one thing. We have been running a segment on this network that things are bad when a black man is put in charge. You get to gavel in the convention, you look out, all of a sudden one day, instead of thousands of people and balloons dropping, you now have the first virtual convention. You must have laughed at that at some point in your time as well.
Well, I did, but I look at it on the positive side. When history will record who chaired the first virtual Democratic convention in history, it will be Bennie Thompson.
Congressman, thanks. Be safe, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Good talking to you.
See you back in Washington.